Congressman, for the privilege to be here and with everybody here today. So I work for the Digital Chamber. We're a blockchain industry trade association. We represent a lot of companies that advocate and educate on their behalf to Congress and other parts of the U.S. government. I lead our national security policy. I'm going to share some general thoughts to help guide our thoughts in general and collectively on topics and some of the topics that the previous panel touched on as well. And first, I'd like you to consider the inextricably and tightly intertwined relationship between technology, the economy, and national security. There are three legs to a stool, each supporting and bolstering one another. A vibrant economy funds research, development, education, and training that produces technological expertise and innovation and provides the means to procure military capabilities. Technological expertise supports innovation, research, and development of military capabilities and develops cutting-edge products and services that create and sustain economic growth. Military strength protects national sovereignty and international agreements, treaties, and trade relationships, which enable economic development and technological innovation. So why is blockchain technology particularly important in this context for national security? Well, it plays a role in all three of those pieces of stool legs. It affects military capabilities and developing applications that are useful for military capabilities. It's an economic tool and an economic growth sector, and it is part of the cutting edge of technology. When we consider blockchain as the next, we can consider blockchain as the next iteration of the internet and the basis for the transfer, storage, and tracking of all value, data, and communications. Think next generation finance, trade, business, communications, and social networking, data storage, value transfer infrastructure, and supply chain. It also has the ability to mitigate some of the most dangerous aspects of artificial intelligence by enhancing transparency, securing data integrity, combating misinformation and deepfakes, and mitigating bias in AI training data, and also managing AI bot autonomy. Right now, there's a race underway to develop the blockchain infrastructure to host all of this activity. A world is fast approaching in which all nations must choose between aligning with a Chinese-led and controlled economic system or a freer, open, and collaborative one led by the U.S. and its allies. China has been leading this effort for several years. It's developing an internationally focused blockchain-based services network, or the BSN, to incorporate all global development and trade. At the 2020 Hong Kong FinTech Week event, the BSN Secretary General said that the BSN would build an internet where China has, quote, independent intellectual property rights, and China controls the rights to internet access. The BSN is building infrastructure via hundreds of data centers located on every continent in the world except Antarctica, and the Chinese government intends for it to extend its global strategic objectives. It is employing the same strategy with it that it has in the past with Huawei and TikTok, building the network and applications that are inexpensive, addictive, and easy to build on to induce countries, corporations, and individuals to use them while they siphon off data to manipulate users and steal intellectual property. Consider these data points. China accounts for over 90% of all blockchain patent applications globally, and last year announced plans for a blockchain research center to connect universities, developers, and businesses to encourage industry growth. Chainmaker, China's homegrown blockchain system, has been operating for 4 years and integrates data directories from more than 80 government departments in Beijing, 16 districts, and more than 10 social institutes. The chain manages more than 500,000 data directories and 2,700 information systems in real time today. Shanghai plans to build a blockchain infrastructure by the end of 2025 and establish links with Hong Kong and Singapore for application in fields such as digital assets, transportation, industrial Internet of Things, supply chain, finance, and carbon management. Shanghai aims to be a global leader in the shift to digital-based economies. China last year announced a new blockchain research center in Beijing called the National Blockchain Technology Innovation Center, tasked with achieving core technological breakthroughs in the blockchain industry. In October this year, Shanghai unveiled a Blockchain Valley hub dedicated to pioneering blockchain development. The arrangement will offer technical and financial aid to the already 137 companies that have located there. Its cryptocurrency market continues to grow and innovate despite tight regulations. Its rich talent pool of developers and active university programs foster a strong pipeline of blockchain professionals, and China-based projects continue to expand overseas, extending their influence. Perhaps most ominously, China has already begun to implement a CBDC, or a central bank digital currency, linked to a social credit system to control and manipulate its population, and it looks to export that model. Central bank digital currencies are a digital extension of sovereign currencies on a centralized blockchain. Their adoption has significant implications for national security. It's programmable money. You can think of positive use cases of such technology where if there's a disaster in one of your nations, a government can drop funds into a wallet to a particular group of people that's geofenced from a geolocated, geofenced from a particular disaster, an earthquake or a fire. But you can also think of ways that it can and will be used to manipulate people. The government can pick out particular individuals or groups of people to stifle their rights, freeze their wallets and funds from being used in particular ways, or even to leave the country. Right now, China is rolling out that system in its own country and looks to export it, as I said, to the nations that it's trading with. The company behind China's state-backed blockchain project aims also to create a parallel SWIFT banking messaging system that will rival the one that's used by most of the rest of the world. As Lily touched on previously, North Korea is also active doing nefarious things with blockchain and in the blockchain sector. More than 50% of the resumes it's estimated that crypto companies receive come from North Korean nationals masquerading as a different nationality. North Korean employees earn over $600 million annually that goes to the North Korean government. More than half of North Koreans' foreign currency reserves are thought to come from crypto hacks and hacking of crypto companies. And it is also estimated that over 40% of the funding that goes to the DPRK's nuclear and missile programs come from crypto hacks. So this is not an insignificant issue by any stretch of the imagination. Russia, of course, plays a role in utilizing blockchain for nefarious purposes. Russia pays China in cryptocurrency for goods it needs for war, and has legalized cryptocurrency mining to circumvent Western sanctions, and uses cryptocurrencies to facilitate cross-border payments and international trade. The legalization of cryptocurrency use includes a longer-term project by the Ministry of Finance for the mass adoption of a digital ruble. Most recently, just earlier today, the Office of Foreign Asset Control underneath the Treasury Department released a press notice that they have implicated and begun taking down 2 enormous networks, multinational, across the UK, Ireland, and several other countries involving dozens and dozens of people for a money laundering operation that is unprecedented in size and scale and complexity. It's estimated that several $billion a year at least have been laundered through these 2 networks. So this problem seems to be growing and not becoming more complex and difficult to take down. So what does this all mean for you? There are enormous economic opportunities as well as national security risks associated with this technology. Central bank digital currencies do not have to be tools of social and financial control. They can be designed with privacy protection and safeguards in mind. It is likely that all nations will be forced to choose between closely aligning with a Chinese developed and controlled economic system or a freer, open, and constructive one led by the US and its allies. If we allow China to dominate this space, we will be handing over access and control of our most sensitive data to exploit and manipulate it. A more decentralized model is a counterbalance to many of the risks of China's centralized model. The free market is our greatest strategic advantage against tyranny. We can leverage our collective ingenuity to improve our nations and safeguard our principles. I hope that that put some thoughts into your minds about how we align collectively and individually in this world, and what kind of action that we need to take regarding adopting blockchain technology and coordinating, as the last panel suggested, also on a global scale. Thank you.